Welcome to another version of the Barebow project, and that has developed into Coffee Talk. Going live right now on YouTube because I enjoy recording these. We just seem to have some good topics of conversation. So, welcome to see, there it is. You hear that in the background? Which it's all good, I just enjoy it. And it has definitely developed into some very cool discussions over the last few weeks as we start to talk about like more coaching stuff. And I gotta say that like since we started IAI and the Barebow project, we really concentrate like Barebow news and tournaments and stuff. And while there's some stuff going on, it just hasn't been like the same. So, these topics have developed into sort of like instrumental conversations that if it helps one person, great. That's the goal. But anyways, so quick roundabout. I put some miles on last weekend and had a visit with Lee Taylor and her shooters out at Lionheart Academy in San Diego, California. Had to make a trip out there. I was actually, meeting my sister and bringing my nephew back, and just put out a post. I forgot that Lee was in San Diego. Holy crud, is the weather nice out there. Let me just tell you, it was a good time. I mean, it was truly, truly a good time. The weather, I couldn't get over it. And the food was amazing too. And I recently restarted our reset. Again, just more of a cleanse, I guess. But I was out there and there's just no way I'm passing up some of the Mexican food that was out there. I had this California burrito, I think it was called. Oh my gosh, was that good? Bacon and steak and shrimp, and I don't even know, but it was amazing. But Lionheart Academy is cool because first of all, they're one of the only indoor ranges in that San Diego area. The closest I think is because everybody shoots outdoors pretty much all year long. The closest is like maybe a half hour away or something like that. And it's coupled with a fencing academy. So the full-time gig, the way that started, Lionheart, it was, and I should have wore their t-shirt. Damn it. The full-time gig there is a fencing school. And, I was talking to Larry Wise about it a little bit. And I guess he, with his new book that he's has written, and it's at publishing right now, with all of the multiple sports that he researched just about like body position and stuff like that. Like the head position in fencing is like super, super important. I don't know all the details. All I know is that like I know absolutely squat about fencing, and it was super cool seeing fencing happening like at a decently high level, I suppose. How competitive it is over there, I don't know. But then we were talking about like how in that community, like fencing is considered an elite sport, and coupling it with archery, it's kind of funny to me. Like the fencing community doesn't exactly look at archery as an elite level sport from an outside view, like if you don't know the sport at all. And Lee's like, how is it not an elite level sport? Like when you talk to some of the parents and stuff like that, and it's an Olympic sport, well, I think there's a stigma to archery a little bit just because of like the bow hunting side of it in the United States is pretty significant. And even out in San Diego, like you could see there's a couple of different communities in archery. There's this competition archery community, and then there's like this bow hunting, Cameron Haynes, Joe Rogan, John Dudley. Well, Dud sort of flops back and forth, but like this hunting community, like a Western, hunt elk, hunt this, hunt that. And like that they look at that as like this rough and non elite level stuff, when any of us who hunt know hunting is anything but not elite. It's tough, it's good stuff. But just funny seeing those two communities sort of mesh, and in reality, like they're still building off of each other, and you know, kids are starting to get into the sport and Lee's Academy, and it's just neat. But I did 2-hour sessions with like 4 or 5 shooters in each out there, and it was pretty cool. You know, it was impromptu because I was just traveling and wanted to see if there was anybody around. It's perfect because I've worked with Lee online, and Lee was absolutely an amazing host because she picked me up at the airport. We went and like got coffee and like stopped at this little market, got sandwiches, went over there. I mean, she's got some real good shooters too at that academy. Like for such a small, I think they have like 4 or 5 bales. You know, I just need to see how archery grows in all these different places and different communities. I can't wait to do something like that again, and you know, get to pop in and just see people and chat with them, and do a little bit of coaching. It was really cool. Hey, yeah, Doug, you got your coffee. Doug, this is for you too, buddy. This is one of my favorite coffee mugs. So remember, this is I should have Zoom on in case somebody or I invited some people to hop in on the Zoom call. Why is this? Oh, that's why. I'm gonna pop the link in the comments on Facebook, in case any of you guys have a question or want to talk about something. You can pop in on the live feed. 1 second. Yeah, send me a cup. Hey, Brett, how you doing, man? How are you? I'll see you guys in at the end of the month, Brett. John and I are coming down to shoot nationals in VA. I'm gonna put the link in comments. I'm doing it from my computer. If anybody wants to join the coffee talk and have a chat, and just talk archery stuff. So, all right, there we go. Good. So, anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to Lee and her amazing hospitality, and their shooters for being so welcoming and having an opportunity to work with some of them, and we worked through some of the things that were going on. I really think that with just a few changes and the stuff that we discussed, they're going to see quite a bit of positive impact, but it's going to take a few weeks. I shot yesterday for the first time since like a few weeks ago. I had a rough go of it, and I don't know. I think it was that Monday, the Monday after we shot States. I shot like a 4. At the first half was rough. Second half was okay. I shot like a 486 with a miss. I was struggling. I don't know what was going on. And it was that following day that I talked about like just clearing your mind and getting things off of your back. Like practice has been okay. But you know, I still don't have like the confidence I had in my form. So I took the week off. I just didn't touch my bow. Traveled out there, got to work with those shooters. And then I went and I shot yesterday for the first time. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So I'm pretty excited I don't know, but I did some things. Like I had some business stuff and some stuff with GHA that I needed to take care of. I wanted to get it off my plate. I wanted to get it off my brain. you know, and just some other things going on. And like, it's weird. And you move that stuff aside, you clear that stuff from your plate, and then all of a sudden, like, the stress goes away. I don't know how to say it, because the whole time, you know, if you're shooting and your mind is elsewhere, it's really hard to shoot well. That's all I can say. And I knew this trip was coming and stuff. And, you know, you got to be able to kind of, you got to clear everything out. You got to make room for the task at hand. And, you know, it is what it is. It's their learning experiences. And I am a full fan of being transparent, that when I suck, because it happens to all of us. And talking about, well, what's the way that you crawl out of that hole? What's the way that you fix that hole? Don't shoot it in practice as much as I used to, because I'm busy doing stuff like this and coaching, and it's not, you just got to run with it, and you have to accept, you know, what level of success you set yourself up for as a shooter. If you shoot once a week, you're going to have once a week success. If you shoot 3 or 4 times a week, you're going to have 3 or 4 times a week of success. That's what your results are going to reflect. Period, point blank. It is what it is. So, you know, and if that once a week all you're doing is shooting scored rounds, it's going to reflect that in your archery. So that being said, hold on, I got to take a sip here, because I don't want this one to be too long. I got too many other things going on today. Surprise. That includes another podcast for IAI. That's the Archery Coach Cast. That's at noon. That is with Coach Larry Wise, Coach Linda Beck, both of which have coached at the Olympic Training Center, Doc McCune and myself. If you do want to be involved in that Zoom link, because it's just an archery training, you should go to the IAI page, look at the event page, and then just the Zoom link is right there. You click it and join. There's no video interaction, but there is, you can do Q&A. So, but anyways, so yeah, I have to prepare for that. Trying to think. If you want to join and chat on the Zoom link, give me a comment on Facebook first, just so I know, because I'm like kind of flipping back and forth between screens a little bit, and I need to get like 2 or 3 monitors is what I need to do. But it's all good. So talking about the mindset, growth mindset in archery, and, you know, what is it? How do we handle it? What is it that, what are the things that you're saying to yourself, and what are the things that you're doing? So there's 2 mindsets. There's fixed mindset, there's growth mindset. So let's just talk about them. And let's talk about like the effect that it has on you. You have to forgive me for reading, because I am going to read a couple of things and how like our brains in those 2 camps affect or respond, I should say. So just bear with me. So fixed mindset. In the fixed mindset, intelligence is static. You lead to a desire to be smart, but therefore have a tendency to, when it comes to challenges, in the fixed mindset, you avoid challenges. In the growth mindset, you embrace them. It's sort of the idea of when we're having a rough end. You know, are you going to embrace the challenge of improving the next arrow, or are you going to avoid it and go down that negative path? You know, that's your fixed mindset versus, oh, that was terrible. Or growth mindset, it's all good, I can fix that, I know what I need to do, and I will do it better. Obstacles. Fixed mindset, you give up easily. In a growth mindset, you persist in the face of setbacks. If you have a terrible tournament, what are you going to do? What's your response going to be? Is it going to be, I'm just going to shoot it out until it goes away? Or Am I going to, okay, I was unable to hold on the middle of the target or on my aim point. I was unable to produce a good release. I am going to, in response to what was happening in that tournament, I'm going to work on X, Y, and Z and go in with a plan. You're going to persist. You are not going to just cave to the hard work of fixing the problem. You're going to formulate a plan. You're going to address it with the next training session or 2 or 3 or however long it needs to be, and work toward it. Or essentially you give up. With the fixed mindset, you're just like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep shooting and it's going to go away on its own. Yeah, that doesn't happen. And if it does go away, I mean, kudos to you. If you have that experience, there's probably a good chance it's going to come back. You cannot, and just to explain that a little bit, it goes back to the idea of the steps of your shot process and understanding the steps of your shot process in order to fix the things that go bad. You need to be in, like, you can call it Zen. You can call it, whatever. Like, your confidence in your form and your shot process are the foundation of the mental game. You can't mentally fix bad form. You can't do it. Said it a million times. See people shoot online. See people shoot on Instagram. I was just sharing a post with a traditional shooter that I saw on Instagram. You can shoot well. You can shoot well when it doesn't matter. 1 second here. I got stuff coming through. But you can't mentally make yourself more efficient and put yourself in body positions to help you deal with target panic, to help you deal with aiming anxiety, whatever you want to call it. Mentally, it has to be the my phone's going off like crazy. You have to have the right mindset in order to fix it, period, point blank. Effort. So in the fixed mindset, you see effort as like a fruitless thing. It's just, you do it, but you kind of have that idea, and that's where I talk about like those negative rabbit holes when we're practicing or tournaments. We let ourselves go down these negative pathways, and you're like, oh, this is a waste of time, or I just want to get done. I've heard numerous shooters, and I probably have fallen into that camp myself, where like, I just want to get done. I want to walk away. You want to run away from the struggle, because we base our value on our performance, our value as a human being, and that's just not the case. Your value as a human being has absolutely nothing to do with the scores that you shoot. You need to shoot archery because you enjoy archery and you enjoy being good at archery, and to be good at archery, we need to work at it. In a growth mindset, the effort is a path to mastery. You're constantly working toward mastering your trade, your endeavor, your whatever it is. If you want to be the best string maker, you make the best strings you possibly can, and you continue when someone gives you feedback on those strings on how to fix them. If you want to be, a good coach, you constantly put yourself and work on how do you become better. Do you do research? Do you work with multiple shooters? Do you work on things yourself? The idea of effort is just a step in the process of mastery. It's not because you're pursuing mastery. If your effort seems fruitless, you're pursuing things for the wrong reasons. Criticism. This is a big one. The fixed mindset, criticism, you ignore useful negative feedback. Okay. Growth mindset, you learn from criticism. I want to be careful how I say this. Online, often you see criticism or what is perceived as criticism, albeit constructive, people ask for opinions or they ask for X, Y, or Z. And I do this often. I'm very direct with, this is what I know. This will help you. This will help fix the problem. If you have this going on, this is what I would do. But it so many cases, other people get like offended and take it as a criticism. Don't take criticism as an attack on you and your personality or on you and your ability to shoot. Take criticism, take one, the credibility of the person that it's coming from. If it's someone you've never heard of, then don't sweat the small stuff. Take what people are telling you and evaluate it first. What value do you weigh it? Do you weigh on a scale of 1 to 10? Do you take I use Demmer just because it's easy. On a scale of 1 to 10, if Demmer says, this is what I see going on, I weigh him at the highest level of Barebow information because he has been doing it so long, because he openly shares his successes and his failures, and because I have seen what he does and how it helps others. He's a 10. If I see someone who puts a criticism, we're using criticism in a very open way, not like someone trying to attack someone, and they put stuff out there and they give you some feedback. Well, if that person has never shot a competitive shot in their life, or if that person is not working with other shooters, if they're like a backyard pro, or that person is, constantly fails in the competitive format, I would not weigh that as high. Let's just put it that way. So when you look at criticisms, kind of just evaluate it. Don't take the criticism as a shot at you. Take it as, thanks for the feedback, and then evaluate it. But don't get offended by it. Don't get hurt by it. Don't have the mindset that, like, what can you make? Can you make something positive out of what people are saying or helping you with or doing? Always look to make that stuff positive. It's that positive self-talk. And I can really early on in the Barebow project, Grayson's probably the one that I think brought it up about like positive self-talk. Like, you cannot get upset over shooting a 6 or a 5 or a 4. Like, if it happens, it happens, but you've got to move on. Same, and I tell Maggie this all the time. Same if you shoot 310s. You shoot 310s, you shoot them like a boss and be happy about it, but then move on. Because if you get super excited about that stuff, I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. You get super excited about those 310s, then you let expectations seep in for that next end, and you're not concentrating on the same thing that got you those 310s to begin with. Moving on. Success of others. I like this one. You feel threatened by the success of other people. That's the fixed mindset. You feel threatened. And then the growth mindset is you find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. You, as a person, get excited when other people are successful. I will tell you, since starting the Barebow project, now my involvement with International Archery Institute, that has got to be probably my number one thing that I'm working on right now, is helping others get better at the sport that I absolutely love. That's all I really care about. Maybe as a competitor someday I'll have a little bit more drive, but right now that's just not my focus. I think there's some success. I think there's some positivity to that. I think that makes me as an individual feel a lot better when I find out that people are having positive impact from something that maybe we helped with somewhere along the line, whether it's a video with John or, you know, Grayson always has an amazing way of explaining things, so that, you know, it just like those, that's just kind of where we're at, I think, with the Barebow project. And, you know, I kind of like to cut through the BS and like say, like, here, this is what works. Hold on one second. This is what works. And this is what we have found that doesn't, you know. But when others around you are having success, and you know, you see a success, or you see someone giving a suggestion that has proven to be successful, and, you know, your comment is critical right away, immediate criticism. Man, I gotta drink more coffee. If you're drinking coffee, drop an emoji in there. Gotta do that. For those of you that listen to the audio version of this eventually as it gets uploaded, that's your own fault. You should have been on the live feed. But if not, you understand that this is being recorded on video, and that when the coffee's gone, this episode of Coffee Talk is over. But anyway, with that being said, you know, the success of others is not an attack on you. You should be happy for them. And, you know, we're seeing a lot of improvement across Barebow and across all of Barebow, some amazing improvement. People are working with other coaches. Other coaches are getting involved in Barebow, and people are reading books and being, you know, successful with their journey. It's so cool. Morton Sorlin, he's just doing awesome. I'm so happy for him. I think it's great. His success, his involvement in Barebow, his working with other people and finding a coach and that's awesome stuff. It's great stuff, and it's good for the sport. 100%. Have that growth mindset, people. Have that growth mindset with every arrow, with every aspect of your training, and be motivated to, you know, to take the failures and make them a success by whatever virtue necessary. Your outlook on your archery is going to have the biggest impact on your ability to improve. That's all I gotta say. That's about it. So let me go back through. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see any comments. I saw Klaus watching, like, I don't know. I kept saying Klaus is watching. I don't know how many times. You know, did that this year. First shoot didn't go well. I like second shoot. I improved, worked on a few things, goal achieved. Yeah, Neil. I do that every year. My first tournament every year for some reason is like poop. I like, I don't know. I don't know if it's jitters. It's weird. But then, like, usually like a tournament or two later, like, pff, I'm good. But I have not shot archery abroad all year. I usually shoot a bunch of those. I haven't. So I actually signed up for two of them. I'm going to shoot one in bow hunter and then shoot one in, and Barebow. But yeah, like it's weird. Like that first time, and, you know, I think over the winter when we shot that NFA quarantine thing, which I almost regret because it just wasn't fun. No offense, NFA, sorry. I just didn't have a good time with it. Because the conditions weren't the best. It was like the middle of winter. It was like 30, it was below freezing out, and we had to shoot with the doors open, and it was like 45 degrees in there while we were shooting. It just wasn't fun. It's not the last time I shot archery. It wasn't like that in a competition format. It was kind of disappointing. Let's put it that way. You know, and it just, yeah, it is what it is, you know? But again, you work on things and you continue to work on the things that you need to fix. And yeah, that's what you do. That's what archery is. That's how you get better. There's no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in improving specifically at Barebow. There's no shortcuts. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret recipe. There's no, it's hard freaking work. That's what it is. And you need to be prepared to go after that and realize it might be 6 months. It might be a year. It might be 2 years. It depends on how much time you put into it and how much you want to make the change. If you want the change and don't fold to struggle, it will get better. If you come out the gate like it's the new year and you're going to the gym and you're going to get into shape, and then a month later, you have to understand that your improvement is going to be that, and if I'm telling you this, anybody that I've worked with, I'm not going to lie, like you get like a program after like the first month is really a trial, and we go over like form and stuff like that to make sure that you're actually committed to making the changes. If you're not committed to making form changes in the first month that I work with a shooter, if you're not committed to it, that's on you. It's not on me. That's on you, and then you have to stick to a plan. You got to stick to a program. That's growth mindset. Fixed is when you're like, things don't go your way, and then 2-3 weeks later you vacate the whole process and just go back. You have to keep going back and working on it. There's no gimmies. There's no gimmies in archery, and especially barebow. Cool. That's awesome, man. Good stuff, dude. All right, this is the last swig. I got a little bit left in the bottom. Coffee's gone. So this is streamed live on YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch it there. Probably make some edits to it. And trying to think. Yeah. And we will, I will be adding the audio version to the podcast, to the actual Barebow Project podcast through Anchor and Spotify and all that stuff. You guys want to come back and re-listen to it. Long story short, thanks for joining us. Come check out the Archer Coach Cast at noon today, 12 p.m. We're going to be talking stance, how it affects the shot, just the foundation of the archery shot. We've been jumping back and forth, and we decided that we're going to take a series as we proceed through the Archery Coach Cast and continue. We're going to start just from the beginning and talk about it and all of the different disciplines and what we see and stuff like that. So the years of experience with these coaches working in archery and coaching in archery is definitely worth a listen, especially if you're a compound shooter when it comes to Larry and Linda, because they are literally the ones who wrote the book on it. Well, I have to say it. They literally wrote the book on the national training system for compound archery. So, and then, we're going to continue down that path and I, put the Barebow spin on what we're talking about. So join in for that. Check that out. That will be on YouTube as well, on the IAI YouTube page and everywhere else. And once again, thank you to all of our sponsors: Yager Archery Grips, Archery Products, Yost Archery Products, AAE, and of course Ben over at Excess Wings, Excess Danes. Those things are just the bomb. It's all I shoot anymore. I don't even use feathers, so they are legit. You can, in the YouTube, you will be able to see the links to all of our sponsors. Check them out. So, all right. Peace out. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys later.